Hey Spectacular Soldiers, I want to start this review off by explaining to those who may not know exactly what a capture card is. Now, I do know that there's a lot of people that watch me, subscribe here, or watch me on Twitch that are aware of what a capture card is, but imagine this. There are groups of people, like I mentioned before, that don't know what it is, they don't know how to operate it, so I'm trying to make this video as simple as I can and gear it towards those people while trying not to lose those of you who do know. Alright, I hope I achieved that. So let's move on. What exactly is a capture card? Here, pictured here is the cheap version that I got, the $15. I said cheap, but it's actually pretty good. $15 version of this card. It has no real name, so I don't know what they actually call it. But I also have a cam link and a party link HDMI capture card that I did a review for on my other channel. The capture card is a device that captures footage from a game or any other medium doing HDMI being played on a console such as the PlayStation, Microsoft Xbox, the Nintendo Wii, blah blah blah, or even a gaming PC, which seems to be a lot for me. I wouldn't do that. That's just a lot for a setup. Anyway, let's move on. What does a capture card do? Well, its biggest advantage lies in it being able to render gameplay to your favorite streaming sites such as Twitch or YouTube. But unlike console streaming, it allows its users to transition between games seamlessly. Have you ever been streaming on the console and you think, well, I really want to show my trophy collection, I want to just zoom around on the dashboard, I want to change games without having to stop. Like if you're on Xbox, you see those astronauts. If you're on PlayStation, you see just a regular blue screen. A capture card would allow you to just show everything without having to go to that blue screen. You have total control. It also allows the user to show things like a blocked game that developers might have locked on console, such as Persona 5 when it came out. So what does this capture card do? Well, through USB 2.0, it provides a high-speed transmission port that makes it easier for you to have real-time streaming for Twitch, YouTube, OBS, and other streaming services. It also launches in 1080p and captures 30 frames per second. What does all that mumbo jumbo mean in plain old English? Basically, this little doodad plugs into the back of your computer. If you have one, you plug your HDMI from your console, and it allows you to display your console through other software on the computer. Basically, you get to display your game console on your computer and then be able to stream it, quite simply. Now, while capture cards are outstanding, they're the bee's knees, they're the talk of the town, I love them myself, they aren't without their limitations. So let's talk about some limitations to using a capture card. Well, here's some of the things you'll need. You need extra equipment, and that's the biggest thing. You need a PC or Mac. You need some software. I prefer OBS myself because it is free. OBS stands for Open Broadcast Software. You will need an HDMI splitter, which I'll have pictured up somewhere. You also need 2 monitors or TVs to use it effectively versus console where you just stream with the touch of a button. So these are the drawbacks here. You need a bunch of extra equipment just to stream, but the picture, the quality, the control of your stream will be well worth it. If you've ever been sitting around and asked yourself, how did this guy set up his screen like this? Probably a capture card. Well, let's talk about this capture card in particular. First off, it goes through the USB hub 2.0, thank goodness, because it doesn't use a lot of information. Captures resolutions of up to 1080p at 30 frames per second and 4K if you're recording. It can also, speaking of recording, assist you in recording your gameplay if you want to use it for a YouTube video or just show off to somebody later. It'll help you stream to Twitch, as we mentioned before, YouTube, Facebook, all that stuff, etc. Most sites will take this. If you can process through OBS, it'll take this card. It works with Mac and PC. Just plug and play, no drivers, no software. You plug it right in, it starts working. It's a small, sleek design, fits in your pocket. You can travel it if you want to. It is very comparable to the Cam Link and very better in pricing. Works with the PS3, PS4, Xbox One, Apple TV, camcorders, because I use my DSLR Sony 4K cam for it. Roku, I've tested all these things out with it. Works beautifully. And the biggest thing, the best thing, it ranges from prices of $13 to $60, which is all affordable. I had bought mine for $15. I saw it on sale the other day for $13. Very, very, very cheap and affordable. So Let's talk about the cons of this thing. We did talk about some cons before, but the biggest thing is you're going to need additional equipment. That's the heaviest thing. Another one is it only outputs in 30 frames per second. So for those of people who do know what capture cards and are nuts about resolution and frames, this thing only does 30 frames. So that is one drawback here. We talked about it needs software, so I would recommend OBS. OBS is an all-around free piece of software. You can go to Streamlabs OBS, you can use regular OBS. There's a lot of other stuff out there. You can also use Elgato software if you want to, but it's kind of tricky. I wouldn't recommend it though. Comes with no external cables, so you're gonna have to get your own extra HDMI, HDMI splitter, the cords, all that stuff. So that is one drawback. But this thing only costs $13 to $60, bro. Very affordable. Who can't afford that? I know it's hard times. I know we're going through this pandemic, but reach in your pocket, get that $13 if you are truly committed to streaming and you're very passionate about it. And you want to make that next step, invest in a capture card. Now I will take you through the setup here in a second, because the last time I actually hooked it up in one of my other capture card video, people didn't take too well with it. So what I'll do is I'll try to do a well thought out and explain display on screen for you. So let's do that. All right, so let's start this off simple and name the components you're gonna need. You're gonna need 2 monitors. I recommend 2 because like I used to do, I had to switch back and forth between 1 monitor, channels, blah, blah. You just want 2 monitors to work it out. You want your HDMI splitter, you want your capture card, your console of choice, and the PC that's gonna be helping you push everything. Now to take you through this process, the first thing you wanna do, you only need an HDMI cord that goes into your splitter. Next, other side of your splitter, you're going to connect one side to the TV, run one separate cord to the monitor, then run on the other side of the output one separate cord to your cam link or capture card of choice, plug the USB into another cord, plug that into your PC, or you can plug it directly into the PC, the choice is yours. Then plug from your PC going into that other monitor and you should be set up. This is what it should look like. On paper at least. If you get confused, I do have another video, like I said, that will explain to you where I'm actually doing it with my hands on. But I felt like this way would be better because people got confused by that. So here's the equipment you need. Here's how to set it up. If you got any questions, feel free to hit me up down in the comments below and I would be glad to answer your questions. Now I'm just going to display how you set it up in OBS, the sub menus you would use to get this capture card activated. You got to go to this menu and activate it right here. Press that button and it should show up automatically. If not, deactivate, reactivate, should catch on automatically. You go to the drop down menu. You have a variety of resolutions to choose from. I use 1080 on this one myself. Like I said before, it delivers 30 frames per second, so you have no control over that. It's going to give you what it gives you on frames, so you got no control. Compared to the Cam Link, this thing is pretty good. I mean, for $15, this thing is out freaking standing, bro. And the only thing it doesn't do, like I said, go to 4K 30 frames per second, but it can't record in 4K. The Cam Link, on the other hand, does do 1080p and 4K and 60 frames all at the same time. It does a real great job. But for $15, this thing is an excellent alternative. I can't recommend it enough. Go pick it up as soon as you get a chance. Hey guys, I'm glad you enjoyed that review. Oh, I hope you enjoyed that review, I should say. I tried to get as thorough and in-depth about this. I realized that a lot of people don't really know much about capture cards. Thanks guys for watching. I appreciate you. Catch some other videos and I'll see you in the next one. But until next time, if you can't be good at it. I'm out of here. Peace.